Hello, everybody. My name is Ray. Welcome to the Evangelical Dark Web. Today, we'll be talking about Black Rifle Coffee Company and pretty much how they hate your guts. This is definitely one of the biggest grifts I've seen in conservative culture. Specifically, not a person grifting, but a company grifting off of conservatism. Now, we've talked a little bit about this on the Evangelical Dark Web in the past. I think of Chick-fil-A as definitely being one of the biggest examples because they position themselves as this Christian company, this company that supports Christian values, but they actually don't support Christian values when it comes to corporate donations or corporate stance. You had a viral video about this time last year where Dan Cathy is shining Lecrae's shoes because he's black to make up for racism or something like that. That's how bad Chick-fil-A is. But in addition to that, they also donated to the Southern Poverty Law Center. They don't donate to Covenant House International or something like that, the organization founded by a Catholic pedophile priest. And then they're also really gay as far as an organization goes. And of course, Chick-fil-A also divested from actual Christian organizations. And they did that starting back in 2012. So Chick-fil-A was definitely they grifted off of the Christian culture, and there's enough of that to keep them afloat. But I think, again, this video is not about Chick-fil-A, but I think they're getting what's coming to them as far as, Popeye's chicken sandwich goes. But let's talk about Black Rifle Coffee Company. And, similar story, right? They pretty much, we're pro Second Amendment. We have guns and coffee. We're naming our coffee after the guns that the left finds scary, the black ones. Those black AR-15s and stuff like that. They're marketing off of that gun, that product, that lifestyle, that gun culture in America. They're marketing coffee based off gun culture. And it turns out they're not very Second Amendment friendly. Now, they've always branded themselves as a veteran-owned company, a pro-veteran company. And usually pro-vet also incorporates pro-gun, pro-Second Amendment. But apparently, in this case, it doesn't. In this case, they aren't very pro-Second Amendment friendly. They're very pro-veteran friendly. But, without the Second Amendment, I don't think being pro-veteran is very meaningful. And that's just a personal opinion because, again, you could be pro-veteran in China, and that would have an entirely different meaning than being pro-veteran in the United States. And that's where I'm trying to get at when I say that. So, Evan Hafer is the CEO of Black Rifle Coffee Company. And he is a massive grifter. And a lot of this was exposed last year when Kyle Rittenhouse killed two Antifa thugs in self-defense. And one of them was a sex offender. So, Kyle Rittenhouse killed two people in self-defense. It was completely justified, and that is a hill to die on. He is a hero. He did nothing wrong. I don't care about the argument that he was under the age of 18 when adult men should have been out there defending their own community. Instead, he has to step up into that role because adult men would not. So I don't want to hear that he's under 18. In the grand scheme of human history, he is military age male. So I don't want to hear the whole under 18 thing. He is a military age male in the grand scheme of human history. So with that said, Evan Hafer and Black Rifle Coffee Company was very dismissive of his case. They were very unsupportive of him in their social media comments. And if you look at the tweets that they liked, the tweets that they supported, they were tweets that were denigrating Kyle Rittenhouse. So they were exposed for that. And they put out and there was this image put online where Kyle Rittenhouse is wearing a Black Rifle Company t-shirt. And all Black Rifle Coffee Company had to do was say, hey, we are not sponsoring or all they had to say was Kyle Rittenhouse is not an official brand ambassador. That's all they had to say. He's not actually affiliated with our company, but he's a customer. He bought that shirt from us. We didn't give that to him. That's all they had to say was something very matter-of-factly like that, hey, he's not technically a sponsor. We don't technically sponsor him. And maybe even throw in some support. But all they had to say, but they botched that statement, made it seem like they were supporting his arrest by saying that we support law enforcement. They attached a we support law enforcement statement to a statement on Kyle Rittenhouse and distancing themselves from him, making it seem like they supported his arrest. We also have, there are also several examples of tweets where Evan Hafer was liking tweets that were bashing Kyle Rittenhouse. So this much was exposed. And one of the things that also was exposed was that Evan Hafer is a Democrat donor. And there's no nice way to put that. He donated to Barack Obama in 2008. He donated $500 to Barack Obama in 2008, and he donated another $500 to Tulsi Gabbard. And he claims that was through ActBlue as a payment processor, so he did not donate to ActBlue separately, is what I heard, but I don't know if that's true or not. I don't donate to Democrats, unlike Evan Hafer. And he claims that he donated to Barack Obama because he lost a bet. I don't believe that. I don't buy that for a second. And he's like, oh, I also donated to John McCain. Well, gee, you are really helping your conservative credentials. You donated to two left-of-center politicians. Barack Obama and John McCain, both left-of-center. You're not a conservative. And then you donated to Tulsi Gabbard. And then you claim to be pro-Second Amendment. Really? Tulsi Gabbard's not pro-Second Amendment. Tulsi Gabbard's a socialist. And I don't get why libertarians were all fond and star-eyed over Tulsi Gabbard. I guess it's because she's anti-war like every other president has promised to be. Like, Donald Trump promised to end the war in Afghanistan. Barack Obama promised to end the war in Afghanistan. You think Tulsi Gabbard is running a different game than those two? No way. No way. Tulsi Gabbard is a socialist. She's for Medicare for all. That's a deal breaker. She's a socialist. I mean, there's no non-socialist way to support Medicare for all. I almost want to say Medicaid for all because it's basically a healthcare system that'll treat us all like we're poor and on Medicaid. So, he claims that he lost a bet, and this was after he claimed that those images were Photoshopped. So people went on like the FEC website, found his donations to certain candidates, and and he claimed that those images were Photoshopped, then claimed that he lost a bet. Obviously, that does not compute. There's an obvious lie there. One of those can't be true. So, so I don't believe him. And recently, this is why I'm talking about this right now. So, recently, he had a profile interview by the New York Times. So all this while, he's going on Dana Lash's show, claiming he's a conservative. He's going on Armed Scholars' YouTube channel. Well, actually, he didn't go on their channel per se. But he talked to the Armed Scholar guy and claimed that he's a conservative. But he's not a conservative. So Evan Hafer had a profile interview with the New York Times, which is not common. It's common sense in conservative media to not talk to the New York Times, or the Associated Press. Don't talk to communist media outlets. I actually have only had this issue happen once to me. I don't talk to mainstream media. I only had this happen once to me. It was an Associated Press reporter, and I forget his name, but I blew him off. I didn't respond to his request for comment on the Kyle Rittenhouse story. It was on this exact issue that because he probably saw my video, which was the second most watched video on this channel, or is it the fourth at this point because of the that gay cringe. But it was like the fourth most watched video on this channel was about Kyle Rittenhouse. And I'm completely in support of Kyle Rittenhouse. And, you don't need to ask me for my statement. I already gave my statement if you're in the mainstream media. So this is what the article says. You can't let sections of your customers hijack your brand and say, this is who we are, Best told me. It's like, no, we define that. The Rittenhouse episode may have cost the company thousands of customers, but Hafer believed it also allowed Black Rifle to draw a line in the sand. It's such a repugnant group of people, Hafer said. It's like the worst of American society, and I got to flush the toilet on some of those people that hijacked portions of the brand. Then again, what Hafer insisted was a super clear delineation was not two, and they had the wrong two in this professionally edited article, clear to everyone, as Mutual's choice of headgear vividly demonstrated. I don't know whether it was a Trump hat or something. Again, I'm taking screenshots of the article and reading those. The racism expletive, really pisses me off, Hafer said. I hate racist, proud, boyish people. Like, I'll pay them to leave my customer base. I would gladly chop all those people out of my expletive customer base and pay them to get the expletive out. If that was the case, I asked, had Black Rifle, which sells a thin blue line coffee, considered changing the name of its Beyond Black coffee to a dark roast, which it has sold to years, to Beyond Black Lives Matter coffee? Surely that would alienate the racist, polluting its customer base. I don't know what that part's about. There's also a section in this interview where he calls, and I'm not Catholic, so I can't speak to this whatsoever because I don't venerate saints. And basically, he was convinced by someone at the Pentagon that the archangel patron saint of military, Saint Michael, was a white supremacist symbol. So I don't know where you get that from. That was laughably stupid. And perhaps Evan Hafer is laughably stupid, but, he's a Democrat. He's a Democrat. He's not pro-Second Amendment. He's pro-bootlicker. That's it. He's a bootlicker. So, and he hates your guts. Like the way he just called you garbage. He just called you poop. He wanted to flush you down the toilet because you got mad that he supported the arrest of Kyle Rittenhouse, an innocent man. And, he's lied about this. He's lied about this multiple times. He's lied about his donations to Democrats who want to grab your guns. Barack Obama was a fantastic gun salesman, but he was anti-Second Amendment. That's why he nominated Merrick Garland to the Supreme Court. That was specifically an anti-Second Amendment play, because Merrick Garland was pretty much ruled against private gun ownership on the Heller versus D.C. decision at a circuit court level. And that's where Evan Hafer was sending money to. And I don't believe his story about that. He lied about his support for Kyle Rittenhouse in a Dana Lash interview, and Dana Lash was grifting there. That was a hardcore grift she was doing. But again, I don't think Dana Lash is all that Second Amendment friendly either. Not when it comes to, things like the Capitol riot. Like, I don't care about the Capitol riot, but she'll apologize for it. And the thing is, I'm very pro-Second Amendment. I believe it is for the overthrow of a tyrannical government. And that's where people like Evan Hafer do not believe that, because he's not in favor of that. And it shows. That's why he donates to people like Tulsi Gabbard, who's a socialist. That's why he donates to people like Barack Obama. That's why he's against Kyle Rittenhouse. All he had to say was that, hey, Kyle Rittenhouse has no relationship with our company. He's not a brand ambassador. We just want to make that clear. But, we're happy that he loves our product. That's all they had to say was something like that. They would have made no one mad. Instead, he's probably lying about how much they would have been canceled by that. Like, I don't believe a word this guy says. He's just a liar. So, and the conservative culture is filled with grifters. I don't know if you heard this, but Bruce Jenner is tweeting about how hard he's working on his campaign for governor of California. But you know where he's headed right now? He's going to be on Big Brother of Australia or something like that. Some stupid reality TV show, because that's how much he wants to be governor of California. It's a joke. It's a grift. The conservative culture is filled with grift, and Black Rifle Coffee Company is no exception. It's a grift. Evan Hafer is a grifter, hardcore. And he was treated like royalty by a lot of conservative media. I even admired him back in the day because I liked what they were doing, because I actually thought they were really pro-Second Amendment. But it turns out that's a lie. That's a lie. This is the type of guy that would support veterans if he were in North Korea. He would be pro-veteran if he were in communist China. And it doesn't matter. He's just pro-veteran with no other worldview really attached to that. And he wants to talk about how he donates to all these conservative organizations. Doesn't name any on Dana Lash's interview. But you know who donates to a lot of who donates to both sides of the aisle? Large corporations like defense contractors. They donate to both sides of the aisle because they like status quo. That's why they donate. That's why you see a lot of large companies donate to both sides of the aisle. They like status quo. So, again, Evan Hafer, he's just a grifter. And it's a story we've seen 1,000 times. We saw this with Chick-fil-A. We saw this with a number of people. And, maybe we'll talk about MyPillow. I don't know if he's a complete grifter, but, I'm not all that much of a Mike Lindell fan, but he certainly has more cojones than a lot of these other people, though, including Evan Hafer. So that's all I got to say about that. My name is Ray. This is the Evangelical Dark Web. If you like this kind of content, subscribe to the channel. Also, check out evangelicaldarkweb.org. Linked in the description below. Comment below what you think about what I think. Kyle Rittenhouse is a hero. Did nothing wrong. And I will catch you on the next one.